Hey everyone, it's Matt. Just thought I'd make a quick video. Hope it's not as hot and miserable where you are as it is here in Fort Worth, Texas. So hope everyone's doing good and having a good start to their weekend. So what I'm doing today is outright stealing yet another idea from Larry Graves, the Canadian Studmuffin. He had done a video the other day where he listed his favorite top 10 solo Beatle album covers, and I thought that was a neat deal, and thought I would just rip that off from him and do my own version of that. Hope you're okay with that, Larry, if you're watching this. So yeah, top 10 favorite solo Beatle album covers, and there's quite a few of them that are pretty good. I was looking through all of them to kind of make my decisions, and there's not a whole lot of just out and out lousy ones, with a few exceptions. Wings at the Speed of Sound and Memory Almost Full come to mind as being not very good album covers, but by and large they're pretty good. But I picked out, and I didn't take time to put these in order really, but in no particular order we'll get started. And no, I'm not going to do that to you. Uh, and this is kind of fun because you get to judge it on the album cover itself, not necessarily the music. Whether some of these albums are really great albums, in my opinion. Some of them just so-so. But it's not really about the music in this case. It's about the album cover. And so, like I said, in no particular order, I always like this one. It happens to be a really good album too, in my opinion. But Harrison's 1976 album cover. I went to the Beatle Fest in 1978, and I saw these sunglasses with the George Harrison 33 and a third as promo items sent out to I don't know, radio stations or record stores. I wish I would have picked that up. They also had little promo buses for London Town, and I sadly didn't pick one of those up. Speaking of which, here's another one. It's an album that a lot of Paul fans don't particularly care for. One that a lot of people like too. I kind of like it. It's a little too I don't know, uh, tame or whatever, but I've always kind of liked it. But I like the cover. I like the back and the front on this because you got the contrasting, the gloomy, cloudy day in London, and then the sunny day in London there. So kind of always like that one. This next one is kind of fun. It's what you would call an interactive album cover, and really great album in my opinion, because you can flip the things and make different sort of have fun making different album cover pictures there. Walls and Bridges, of course, John Lennon. And now I'll put that back together later. And what do we got next? That's one of my favorites, so I kind of saved that. That one. And I am missing something here. Let's see. I think I am. No, I'm not. This is Ringo's Old Wave album that was not released in America. It was only released in 2 or 3 countries. But good, neat picture of Ringo back in his Teddy Boy days, back before the Beatles. And I actually think this is a pretty good album. It's another one that draws mixed reaction from fans. Some don't like it so much. Some think it's pretty good. We'll go. What else we got in here? Yeah, we'll save that one. We'll go with another. Got another Ringo album here. His first solo album, Sentimental Journey, which I don't know. Just always kind of like the composition of that cover, the old building, which I think is still there. I believe. I don't know. I've never been to England, but just kind of like the cover of the building. Picture looks like it's a little off tilt, off center, but I don't know. Just I like old buildings and thought that was kind of a cool cover. It's another album of his that I liked that didn't really get good reviews or sell well when it came out, but not my favorite of his, but it's one that I like quite a bit. Here's an example of an album that's not very good, but I always like the album cover for some reason. This is Unfinished Music number 2, Life with the Lines. Terrible album. I don't think I've ever made it all the way through it, to be honest with you, but just a simple, straightforward photograph that someone took there of John and lying on the floor there while Yoko's in the hospital. Not really a Yoko fan, but I just kind of a neat picture, like the composition with the apples there and him down there on the floor, and uh, you know, I don't know. Thought it was not a very good album, but back cover is kind of a neat picture too. Terrible album, in fact, but the album cover is nice at least. It's weird little experimental albums he and her did. Returning to Lennon, here's one of my favorite of his albums. Uh, might be my favorite, might be my second favorite after Plastic Ono Band, but just always thought that was a neat picture, front and back. So it's the Imagine album, of course, chock full of good music for you to listen to there. We did Walls and Bridges, so we're down to the last three. This is another album that some people think the cover's goofy. I thought it, well, I guess maybe it's kind of goofy, but I like it. This came out in '79 when I was 15 or 16. Don't remember what time of year it came out. I need to get an upgrade because this isn't a very good copy, but I thought it was a really cool picture. In 1979, when I bought this brand new, not this particular copy, but when I bought the album brand new, and I guess it still kind of is. This is one of my favorite Paul McCartney solo albums. Probably, I don't know, maybe my second favorite of his solo albums, but it's I mean, fits in with '70s album covers, and it's Back to the Egg, and I don't know, I like it. So here's my two favorite, I guess you could say. Just always loved this picture. This another one of my favorite of his solo albums. Just I don't know, look on his face there. Looks like he walked in the house and someone just put a Yoko record on, or maybe his sheepdog Martha just bit him in the butt or something. But it's a funny picture and good picture. I like that. And the split face on the back is pretty cool too. And I don't know, it's okay gatefold there, but good cover. That's one of the composition and the shadows behind him and the lighting. So neat picture. And what would probably be my favorite solo album cover, and this is one of my favorite George albums. Kind of psychedelic, kind of captures the mood of the album perfectly. A blend of Western and Eastern music, and the wall in between with the lack of I don't know understanding and or connection between the two, but the hope of the one brick missing. It's just kind of a cool, looks like a painting or something, and neat cover. I always like that, and I love this album. The back cover is, I don't really know what that is. It's upside down actually, but it's some kind of brick wall with a fence and a building behind it, so that's not terribly interesting. But yeah, that may well be my favorite one. And there's plenty of others that I like a lot too, but those would probably be my top 10. So, list what you think your top 10 solo Beatle album covers are, or make your own video. Rip off my idea like I did with Larry Graves there. And I'll be back. I finally got more Beach Boys albums, so if you don't like the Beach Boys, that'll drive you nuts, and just don't watch them. And if you like them, that'll be something maybe to look forward to. Hope you have a good weekend. Hope it's not a million degrees where you are like it is here. It's going to be till probably October. And take care.